You just packed a bowl, you just took a nice big old sip, you got the water pipe filled with some nice warm water, you're ready to take a massive rip. What kind of lighter do you reach for? Do you grab a Bic like most people, or do you like to use those clipper lighters that you can swap out the flint and refill? Or did you go to the dollar store and pick up some of those god-awful Scripto lighters that nobody should use? Those things are terrible. Or are you like one of those cool guys and you bust out the Zippo? Have you ever smoked a bowl with a Zippo? Zippos are probably like the coolest looking lighter, right? They're in tons of movies. They've been around since the 30s. Zippo lighters have like a whole set of like tricks and stuff that you can do. Like any super cool guy in the 50s, anybody wearing a leather jacket and riding a motorcycle in the 50s and 60s had at least one Zippo on him. But are they good for smoking bowls? Are they good for getting high with? Now, nothing's really going to help you if you just have terrible flour, but in my experience, Zippos don't really give you the best hits. I was thinking about this more the other day. I just made a video not too long ago talking about matches, and I kind of refer to a guy in that video who went by the name Matches, who typically smoked with a Zippo lighter. I thought that was kind of ironic. His name was Matches, but he used a Zippo. And he went on to talk about how the Zippo didn't change the flavor much for him, and he would typically use it. Now, I do want to mention there are different kinds of Zippos. You can get different inserts, so the flame is different. You can get arc lighters, so it's electricity and there's no flame. You can get little butane ones, so you got like a mini torch. But I'm talking about the old classic Zippo, the one that uses lighter fluid, not butane. Now, the old ones, they're not the best, right? They're cool, right? They've been around for a while, but they can leak the fuel, and the fuel isn't the best. A lot of people say that it makes their flour taste terrible. The OG ones are designed to be windproof, and you can use them outside to light like a cigarette, cigar, or something like that, a joint, whatever you want. But they do make an insert for like pipe smokers. I think obviously initially it was made for tobacco pipe smokers, but you can use it on any kind of pipe. And the pipe smoking insert, instead of making the flame go up and down, it has like a little hole in the side, so you can tilt it sideways and light your bowl with it. But is that the way that you should do it? I don't think so. Now, I've done it maybe a couple of times, but I thought it tasted awful. Like, it looks cool, right? You have this cool metal lighter, snap it open, you got a nice flame on there, light your bowl. You're looking so cool. But bro, the taste on it it's absolutely terrible. I've actually heard some horror stories from people. Other than it tasting bad and not being good, some people have passed out from like using their Zippo lighter. I remember when I worked at a dispensary, this guy was telling me a story about him smoking with a Zippo, and he thought he got laced flower. He thought he got laced weed because he like passed out when he was smoking, and he didn't know what it was for the longest time. He's like, bro, there's no way it was laced. I got it from a dispensary, but like I passed out while I was hitting it. And after talking around with some other people, he found out it was caused by him smoking bongs with a Zippo lighter. Like, he was just doing long, slow, big pulls, hitting the bowl with the Zippo. And that's just like loading his bowl up with lighter fluid. I guess he's getting the fumes. There's naphtha, naphthalene. You could put kerosene in them. Benzene and naphthalene, petroleum distillates, toluene, xylene. While I'm not an expert on fuels and chemicals, I do know from experience that, bro, that's way worse than butane. Like a regular Bic lighter, I feel like it burns so much cleaner and so much better tasting. Like, I'd almost rather use hemp wick than a Zippo. I did want to quickly show the inserts too. Here's the arc lighter. That's lightning. This is a double butane right here. That's a torch. That's fine. That's a torch. That's fine. I'm guessing this is the standard one, the yellow flame insert. And then these are the ones for pipe smokers. They have the hole in the side so you can get the flame through there instead of just trying to get it out of the top. You could probably hit a bowl with this one, but it's not going to be as easy as the one made for pipes. Now, I just want to take one quick glance at this because it kind of reminded me of that story that guy told me at the dispensary. They got knocked out apparently by the fumes. 2 years ago, I wanted to use a Zippo lighter with a good 20-inch bong because I like the size of the flame. One small puff was fine, as was a second. Then I wanted to hit the THC wall, so I took a long drag inhaling what is basically naphtha fumes for 5 seconds. Yes, naphtha, like for stripping paint. My hearing went away. All was quiet. I watched through my eyes as if the world was 20 yards away, and I was staring through a reverse binocular, like pinhole vision. I saw the floor and was confused. Surely I was sitting on the toilet lid. How could the floor be so close? Wait a minute. I'd been sitting on the toilet lid. My body had fallen forward and to the left, the large bong crushing to pieces between my torso and the tile floor. This sounds like a horror story, I'm not gonna lie. My head was miraculously stopped from crashing into the floor by the dumb luck of the corner bathroom catching my head like a hand in the air. This picture's not there anymore. I looked for it. before I had the chance to crush my nose or eye socket orbitals on the tile. So it sounds like they were gonna fall and their head got stuck in the corner before they were able to smash their face on the tile. That would have been terrible. They're talking about the picture we can't see, but apparently they almost hit their floor. Their bong broke on the floor. 5 pieces, yet none of the pieces stabbed through my torso. I just got a tiny nick on my right hand. I would not get so lucky the second time. I rolled a natural 20 here. Damn. Had I instead of fallen forward, my teeth would have shattered against the bathroom sink. Real bloodbath. Bic lighters are lifesavers in this regard. Better fuel and they have a natural auto shut off. Yeah, that is one thing. You have to close the lid on the Zippo or it's going to keep going. Much more likely for you to accidentally start a fire with a Zippo, especially when you're super high. Never use Zippos for bongs. If you're in the bathroom, you may get stabbed by the bong. If you do a long Zippo bong rip in the living room and you get knocked out, you will likely drop the Zippo and the house may burn down. So that paints a little bit of a picture for me. They're just filling up their bong chamber, their glass tube, nice big bong with the lighter fluid, with the fumes from the lighter fluid, and that knocked them out. Zippos don't have the auto shut off, so if you don't close that lid, and you pass out or something like that, like they described, if you're in your living room, you got carpet in there, you could light your house on fire. It's probably not as bad if you're lighting a joint or something that's rolled where it's not going into a glass chamber, something a little more exposed to the air, right? But if you're like filling up a bong specifically, it could potentially just be getting loaded up with the lighter fluid or the fumes from the lighter fluid. I've always thought they tasted bad. I've never personally passed out, but I've heard a few people talk about it. And that story right there on Reddit actually sounds like a horror story. So I don't recommend using Zippos. I'm gonna have a tier list soon on different ways to light your bowl. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably end up doing that video live on Twitch. So follow me on Twitch. You might be able to see it live before it happens. The smoke sesh starts at 9 p.m. Eastern. Link your Amazon Prime and I'll see you on Twitch. And look, I know we talked about a lot of fuels and gases in this video, but I feel like too many stoners call everything they get that's good quality gas. So if you're sick of everybody calling everything gas, check out this video right here. Have a lit day, my dudes.